Is it possible for me to make a video less than 10 minutes long, or will I be my usual yap machine self? Stay tuned and find out. There are so many choices for what perks to use when playing Call of Duty Zombies. In recent years, since Cold War, your options have blown wide open as perk limits have been left in the past. Still though, there are perks that players don't care much for as the benefits aren't usually worth their time or points. Death perception! I recently have found myself a beautiful perk that I have enjoyed using so much in Black Ops 7 and has led to a unique statistical situation for me. We will cover that later, but for now, I want to talk about this perk which I am keeping a secret for just a short while longer. Usually, perks make you stronger, but do not almost by themselves open up a whole new playstyle previously unattainable. Jug, for example, gives you more health, and that's great, but it doesn't really change what you're doing in the match. A better example is with Deadshot or Double Tap. Both of these make your weapons stronger, but they don't suddenly make something viable that previously wasn't at all. Some of you may be thinking PhD right now, and while that absolutely helps with explosives, the explosives themselves are still just as strong with or without PhD. It is simply about how safe you have to be while using them. No. The perk I am talking about makes a playstyle and a weapon viable that without it is practically unusable in my eyes. And I've got some evidence. I am talking about Melee Macchiato. The hated, the downtrodden, the sad perk that people avoid. But I'm not people. I'm Cinerax, and I use Melee Macchiato proudly. This perk was introduced in Black Ops 6, and prior to release, I essentially shrugged my shoulders and said, cool, I'm glad they're adding a new perk. Too bad it's useless. I didn't bother with Melee Macchiato at all outside of my first match until I was going to work on getting the knife gold. I then decided I should probably read what augments are here and see if anything is worth researching. I see Espresso and Stick and Move, which immediately makes me decide that those two are the ones I want. I do not care about the punching aspect of Melee Macchiato. What I want, and what I love about it, is being able to use my knife and have it do more damage, attack faster, and keep me out of trouble. These two augments did that and worked great. Now in Black Ops 7, these augments return, but now I have the ability to equip another minor augment and it got even better. I added Barista Brawl to the setup and now my melee kills reward me even more points than normal. Now we're cooking, and melee is actually viable when mixed with the ability to upgrade rarity and pack-a-punch the knife. Here is specifically why I know that Melee Macchiato is the thing that makes this possible and not just being able to upgrade the knife itself. If you play Black Ops 6 or 7 without Melee Macchiato and try to use your melee weapon, it is going to be pretty brutal. In Vanguard, which I just spent 100 hours playing, go check out that video after this, you can upgrade your knife, and it's actually easier because there is only pack-a-punching in that game. There is no rarity system, so it's easier to get your knife upgraded, but there's no Melee Macchiato, and there's no way to speed up your melee attacks within Vanguard. I can upgrade my knife, and I can get the Covenant that makes me do more melee damage and heals me for doing melee kills, but it isn't any faster, and it's still miserable to use the knife in that game. I got it gold, but it was the worst part of my 100-hour experience on that game, just because using the melee weapon sucks so bad without a Melee Macchiato equivalent. Again, in Black Ops 6 and 7, this is much the same because without Melee Macchiato, you're going to struggle as it is slower and it falls off damage-wise even faster. Melee Macchiato makes that problem go away. You get strong melee attacks that are faster and will help you stay out of trouble by increasing your backpedal speed. It makes the world of difference where instead of misery with Vanguard, or without the perk, I am having fun in Black Ops 7. Add on top of that the quality of life changes that Black Ops 7 added, and it gets even better. One thing you can do now is heavy attack with melee weapons. It is slower, but it does more damage. I admittedly don't really use this much, however, I do utilize the other great quality of life change that allows you to critical with melee weapons. This change along with Melee Macchiato helps keep melee weapons useful even longer, and all you have to do is aim a little higher than you normally would with the knife. A great change that I have taken full advantage of. A good question in all of this though is why am I even using the knife this much where I'm noticing this in Black Ops 7? This is a classic case of two birds, one stone, and it worked nearly flawlessly in my favor. I was working on getting Infestation done and therefore I was at the stage of doing all of my Doomsteel camos. This is a slower process, and while I could have sped it up by doing a hyper-specific method, I chose not to do that and instead chose to tackle two things at once. First, of course, is Doomsteel, but every time there is no bear on my farm survival, I have no reason to use the weapon I am targeting with Doomsteel. So I used the knife, and that is where the second thing comes in. I wanted the knife to be Prestige Master level 250 desperately because I love the camo that comes with it. So every match I loaded in with my target weapon for Doomsteel and the knife along with Toxic Growth. Very simply, I would spawn in, get power on, and then use the knife. I would start growing plants and mixing in Toxic Growth once it was charged. As soon as I could afford Melee Macchiato, it would be my first perk bought, and then with Toxic Growth tricks, I was able to get the knife strong quickly and not have to worry about falling behind. Once I hit 16, I would go take out the bear with my target weapon, do the save and quit tricks, and then go back to the knife until the next bear spawned. Getting set up while using the knife is one of the easiest things ever in Standard. Having extra points from the eliminations, check. Not worrying about spending points to replenish ammo, check. Getting some free upgrades and perks from Toxic Growth, check. You'll be set up quickly and saving a ton of points along the way. Plus, for me, it is just fun to hack and slash my way through the first 25 to 30 rounds before melee does inevitably start to fall off. So here I am now with Infestation done, my knife to level 250, and the flatline also prestiged twice. Look at these vile stats that I have posted, and it isn't even close between any other weapon right now. Of course, that is going to change over time as I no longer am leveling up the knife and will be focusing on other weapons, but it is a very large gap right now that another weapon will have to fill. Even the ballistic knife I already have Infestation for and a 3k mastery badge. The ballistic knife will keep growing as I plan for that to be my melee weapon going forward, as it doesn't affect my other weapon slots to have a ballistic knife which can revive people. I do believe that there will be many times where I pick up this strategy again because it is so useful and fun. Because Melee Macchiato is useful, fun, and underrated. That is probably one of my shortest ever videos, but I feel Melee Macchiato deserved a shout out. Don't take this too seriously. I am specifically avoiding a title or saying anything that says Melee Macchiato is one of the best perks, because it isn't. But it is really fun and definitely overlooked in the pool of perks. I would certainly rather engage with Melee Macchiato over Wisp Tea. If Melee Macchiato has 100 fans, I'm one of them. If Melee Macchiato has 1 fan, it's me. If Melee Macchiato has 0 fans, then I am deceased. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment, or subscribe. I am really close to 1,000 subscribers and I would love to hit that, so if you could, please, I would appreciate if you hit subscribe before you head on your way. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.